brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five. Brothers.
What up, and welcome to another episode of the iBall podcast. I'm your host, Derek Williams, also known as DWill The Coach. And as y'all see, I'm flying solo. Again this week, man, Coach Chill Will, Brian Williams, is in Dallas with Greedy, man. They went out to the JUCO Showcase in Dallas, Texas this weekend, man. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start off the show right here, right now like this. I'm going to tell y'all. Greedy Williams is coming back from Dallas. Greedy Williams is coming back from Dallas as the number one unsigned prep prospect in the country. That's not me saying that, y'all. That's somebody else saying that. That's right. They have Greedy Williams ranked the number one unsigned prep school player in the country. Bro, from what I know, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later in the podcast. From what I know, man, he went out there and went stupid this weekend. He did everything that we have been asking him to do all his life in one weekend, man. And it, from what I hear, was great to see. And I got to watch it. Man. I got to see it live. If y'all want Baller TV, man, go to Baller TV. You can click on the JUCO Showcase. Pull it up, and you can go watch all the past games, man. Bro had 2 dunks. Like, y'all already know. I said I'm going to get into this later, but I got to go and say it. He caught one off the rim, and somebody threw – I can't believe I'm finna say this. Somebody threw Greedy and alley-oop off the backboard, and the boy actually caught it. The boy actually caught it and dunked it. So, man, like I say, man, he had a good weekend down there. As we all know, this was the first live weekend of the AAU season, man. All over the country, all circuits had a live period, man. They were all over in Atlanta, in Orlando. They were 2 in Indiana. All over EYBL, UAA, 3 stripes with Adidas, man. Everybody was out hooping. All the independent circuits, hoop scene, marquee hoops, on the radar. I can keep going on and on and on of all the tournaments that happened this weekend, man. And I will tell y'all this. I got some good reviews, and I got some not so good reviews. And we're going to run through all that in this episode, man. But appreciate y'all hanging out. I got a surprise for y'all, man. We've been saying it for so long. We're going to YouTube. We're going to YouTube. And everything hasn't been ideal. But guess what, y'all? Hey, we on YouTube. That's right, man. My main man, Christian Brooks from Modern Day TV, has pulled up on us, man, to get us looking right. Like I say, I'm solo, Coach Chill Will, man. We got his Bama jersey sitting in the chair for you, man. But so he's here. He's here with us in spirit, and we're gonna get into this, man. But y'all already know I'm gonna hold y'all down like I always do, man. We're gonna also talk about a couple other things, man. I'm gonna call out some players. Some players that I know really got it in this weekend. I'm going to call them out this weekend. Because I know some young guys. That got busy this weekend. I mean, busy this weekend. Like I say, I wasn't in the gym this weekend, but I was all over the internet. You never know. That eye in the sky is always watching. It's always watching, man, so you never know who tuned in, man. The COVID protocols has given us a new way to freaking watch basketball, man. It's a new way to evaluate. We were able to jump online. People are streamlining these games and everything, man. So it was good to see this weekend. Like I said, we're going to run through a little bit of that. We're going to also talk about you know what? No more preliminaries. All right, no more preliminaries. Y'all can follow us, Little iBall podcast, wherever you get your podcast. iBall Radio YouTube page. Go to the iBall Radio YouTube page, man. You know why? Because we're up. iBall Radio YouTube page, man. Go watch this episode whenever we drop it. Enjoy it. That's right. Enjoy it. But I'm going to say this, man. We're going to jump right into this episode. Listen to me. Players, parents, coaches, handlers, whoever it may be, listen to me very close. This message is directly for you. Don't worry about if your phone don't ring this weekend. If your phone does not ring after this weekend, don't panic. It's okay if your phone doesn't ring after this weekend. And the reason I say that, we understand where we are in the realm of recruiting right now. In the realm of recruiting, we know where we are right now. We know the transfer portal is what it is. We know high school kids. I've told y'all all this in past episodes. We know high school kids aren't getting recruited like they should be. We understand that. We understand that it's 5th and 6th year seniors out there who are transferring, who are graduating and transferring with 1, 2 years, and 3 years of eligibility sometimes. We get that. So listen, all the coaches were out recruiting. But if your phone doesn't ring, doesn't mean that you weren't being recruited. You're not going to get any offers after this weekend. All right, let me say that. Don't expect any offers after this week. I'm going to look directly into this camera and I'm going to tell y'all. Don't expect any offers after this weekend. This is not the weekend of offers. This is not the weekend that you're saying, okay, you know what? All of my offers are going to ring. Nah, don't do that. Don't say that. Because that's going to stress you out. I'm going to keep it real. It's going to stress you out. Don't stress out over the process. The process is the fun part. You just got to go hoop. All right. But don't look for many phone calls after this initial weekend. All right. Let me tell you why I say that. I had a college coach tell me this weekend, a Division I college coach tell me this weekend, yeah, we're having fun out here seeing a lot of guys, but the portal is priority. Did y'all hear me? The portal is priority. So that means whatever they see out on the circuit this weekend is cool. They're going to write it down and get their little notepad. They're going to write it down. They got you, right? They're looking. However, when it comes to them throwing an offer to somebody, it's going to come out of that portal first. Portal is priority. Listen to me one more time. The portal is priority. So don't be discouraged, high school guys, if you're not getting the looks that you think you should get after this weekend. Because like I say, I'm going to talk about some guys today that I know really balled out this weekend. And I'm going to tell you, don't be looking for an early offer. Don't look for an early offer from that. Don't be expecting an early offer from this weekend. Don't do it. Just don't, because like I said earlier, you're going to stress yourself out. You don't want to be stressed out during the process, man. Enjoy the process. So I'm going to tell you, the transfer portal is priority for all schools. Listen, Division I, Division II, all schools, NAIA, JUCO, the portal is priority. So they're going to go look there first. They're going to look there first. If they can't find what they're looking for in the portal, then guess what they're going to do? Then they're going to call you. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to get your opportunity. All you got to do is hoop. My thing is, if you're sitting out there and you're worried about an offer, and you're not hooping, you're worried about what coaches are sitting around your games and seeing you play, you're worried about that. Don't worry about that. Because if that's what you're worried about the wrong thing. I'm just keeping it real. If that's what you're worried about the wrong thing. It's not going to happen that way. So I'm going to tell you, don't worry. Chill, be cool, and hoop. Because if you're worried about hooping, if you're worried about offers and you're not hooping, guess what? That offer's never going to come. They're never going to offer you. They're never going to recruit you if they come see you play and you're not hooping. You get what I'm saying? I've told you this before. Number one thing you need to do is hoop. Hooping supersedes all. If you're a high school guy, guess what? They'll sign you over a guy in the transfer portal if you're hooping. But I'm here to tell you, I just pulled it up live. 1,256 names in the Division I transfer portal. Did y'all just hear what I said? 1,256 names in the Division I transfer portal. 49 seconds ago, D.K. Nichols just entered the transfer portal from Southeast Missouri State. He's going to Gardner-Webb. Now, I will tell you this. Y'all know I've been keeping up with this transfer portal extremely close over the last month or so. 2 months, really, since it's just been going insane. But I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at a lot of these names on here, and a lot of these guys have found new schools. It used to be a bunch of names entering this portal, and they had nowhere to go. Now, I'm going to tell you, out of all the names that I'm looking at right now, and it's about 100. I'm going to tell you, I'm just scrolling through about 100 of these. It's only about 5 that don't have a new school. Okay? So what does that tell you? That tells you this is before the first live period weekend. What does this tell you? That tells you that the portal is priority. They've already signing these guys. They're already signing these guys. So if you're a 2022 guy that's out on the circuit right now, and Jabari McGee from Winfield, he had committed to Tennessee Tech. He decommitted. He's back out on the circuit. And he had over 30. If I'm not mistaken, he had 2 30 balls this weekend. I think he had 1 30 ball, and he only missed 2 shots all game. So Jabari McGee is out on the circuit balling. But the thing about it is, he's caught in this also. Because, look, I'm telling you, these guys have already – Sam Goodwin came from Wofford going to Oklahoma. Jackie Johnson III, Duquesne going to UNLV. Jack Kyman, UCLA going to Wyoming. Dylan O'Hearn, NJIT going to Jacksonville. I can keep going. Will Richard, Belmont, transferred to Florida. So these guys are finding new homes immediately. So these coaches are offering these guys as soon as they hit the portal. As soon as they hit the portal, they're offering these guys. Oh, this is a kid going to Trent Gibson. I don't even know. Tusculum, I don't even know where he's transferred. 6'4" point guard. He's going to play with my boy. Nephew, Cam Crawford, man, at Indiana State. He got him a point guard. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully he can get Cam shots and where he needs to be. But he's a junior. He graduated in 2018. So he's been around for a while. So that's the thing about it. This kid here has been around since 2018, and now he's transferring to Indiana State. So listen, if you're not getting the looks that you expected or you wanted to get after this first live weekend, because I know a lot of guys went in with false hope. Y'all went in with a false hope of, oh, man, I'm going to go out, I'm going to hoop, I'm going to get, and I'm leaving this weekend, I'm going to have 10 offers. If that's what your mentality was, I know you're disappointed right now. And you're going to be even more disappointed because guess what? Those offers still aren't going to come. Not this weekend. I'm not saying they're not going to come at all. They're just not coming this weekend. This weekend was the initial evaluation period. A lot of times these are some of these recruiters in schools first time putting their eyes on guys in person. Because what have I told you? They're not coming to your schools. So how many of these guys have you? I want all the AAU cats that went out and played in the live period this weekend. If you went out and played in the live period this weekend, I want out of all the hundreds of coaches that you saw in the gym this weekend, over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all those coaches name me how many of those you saw in your gym at your high school this past basketball season. I want you to name them off. I want somebody to hit me up and tell me how many of those coaches y'all saw this weekend you saw during your high school season. None. I can tell you 0. They're not coming to watch you play. They came to watch you this weekend. So a lot of times, this was some of these recruiters in schools' first time putting their eyes on you live. Hopefully you showed improve. Hopefully you were able to step up and show improve. And I'm going to tell you something. It's 2 guys that I really want to talk about right now that I know stepped up for a fact and showed improve. And the reason this is so impressive to me, the reason I say this is so impressive is because these guys played 2 years up. That's right. They ran on the 17U circuit for the live period this weekend. And that is 2025 Bryce Dawson and Jacoby Hill. Both of them play for Tri-City Elite. Now, Tri-City Elite, they play on the 15U team, but Tri-City Elite put together a select team to run during the live periods, which I think is a brilliant idea. It is a brilliant idea for AAU programs during live periods to put together select groups. They should listen, this is a new theory. I don't know, they might always do this, but I'm going to tell you, Coach JJ Harvey over at Tri-City Elite, man, this was a brilliant idea. He put together his best group to run during the live period. So to ensure that the guys that he really, really, really knows in his program that have a chance, he's giving them even more of a shot. So these 2025 guys are getting in front of these college recruiters earlier than they normally would be. Because I'm going to tell you, it ain't too many coaches that's going to watch a 15U game. It ain't too many coaches that's going to watch a 16U game. Some, but not many. They're really going out there and they're watching that 17U circuit. So for Coach JJ and Tri-City Elite to put together a select squad and to go run at the Marquee Hoops live period session. I think they were in Orlando also. For them to go down there and play in Orlando and put together a slick team to play on the 17U circuit was brilliant. And let me tell you why it was so brilliant. Because Bryce Dawson and Jacoby Hill balled out. I mean, they had games. I think Bryce had a game of 27. You mean to tell me it's a 2025 kid out there getting almost 30 on the 17U circuit? You had another game with Jacoby Hill. I think the game he had, Bryce had 27. I think Jacoby had like 16. And then the other game, I think Jacoby went over 20 and Bryce had, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up live because I want to get these numbers correct. Because these guys, man, listen, that's how you go hoop. If that's the Jacoby Hill, 24 points, 4 threes. Bryce Dawkins, 18 points, 4 threes. My man TJ Coleman had 10. And they said TJ Coleman played a very solid weekend. He didn't have a lot of big scoring numbers, but he was able to get those guys, Bryce and Jacoby, into positions where they were able to put up big numbers. He played the point guard position. And with his size and athleticism and skill, playing the point guard position and getting everybody else involved while still getting your points. Now, I will like to see him push those points up per game. I would like to see him around 16, 18, 20 points in those games. But against Florida Pro, who Florida Pro had the Thompson twins that are in the OTE now that are both projected first-round picks in the 2023 NBA draft. Team Florida Pro produces guys like that. So for Tri-City Elite Select to only lose by 6 to Florida Pro 2022, that's big. And they're playing with 5 underclassmen on that team. 5 underclassmen are playing on that 17U team, and they are out there balling. That was one game where Jacoby had 24 and 4 threes, and Bryce had 18 and 4 threes, right? But that's not it. They had more games where they were playing like that. More games they were playing like that. So listen, that was big for them. I think that was a brilliant idea for Tri-City to put together a team, a select team, to go out there and play against the top talent. I think that was a brilliant idea. And obviously it was a brilliant idea because he put 2 2025 guys out there who showed and proved that they're able to play up. They showed and proved that they're able to step up to the level. You know what that shows college recruiters? It shows them when I get them on campus, they can compete immediately. They can compete immediately with guys that are older and more mature with them. They can still understand how to get on the court and get theirs. Because those are buckets. Like, we're not talking about 5, 10, 8 points. I'm talking 27 pieces, 24 pieces, 18, 16. That's really getting buckets. And to go, even though they didn't go, they only went like, I think 1-3 on the weekend. But you're in competitive games. You're losing games by 5 and 6. You're not getting blown out. You're doing a good job of competing with a bunch of young guys. That's only going to show better to those college recruits. It's going to show better to them because they were out there able to compete in that. Now, I will tell you, y'all know I be hung up on the 2025 class a lot. Because that's the next class, in my opinion, that we really need to put our eyes on. We were very familiar with the 2023 class. We're familiar with the 2024 class. And this is the first time now, because I've never put out an iBall lottery rankings with the 2025 class. This July will be the first iBall rankings 2025. It'll be the first one. So we're just now getting familiar with these guys. And like I say, those are 2 that you need to have on your radar that will definitely be in the iBall lottery rankings. Who is another one? I've talked about this kid before. And I watched some tape on him from the weekend. And everything I saw during the basketball season is exactly what I thought. It is exactly what I thought. And that's Devin Barksdale. Devin Barksdale, we play United. We play United out of Anniston. I think they were the hoop scene in Atlanta this weekend too. Yeah, they were the hoop scene in Atlanta. Devin Barksdale can play. This kid is a dog, and that's what I love about him. He's not the biggest kid right now, but you can tell he has extremely long arms, so he has some room to grow. I think he's gonna hit a growth spurt eventually, but he can play. I mean, he can play. He can play the point guard position. He can play off the ball. He can score it. And I'm going to tell you what I like about him the most. The damn kid can guard. Like, he is a willing and able guarder of the basketball. Not just shooting passing lanes and cheating and getting steals. No, he's going to sit on that basketball and make it hard for that ball handler to do what he needs to do. I saw several moments of him this weekend where he sat on that basketball. I mean, literally sat on the basketball and made it hard for offensive players to get off. And when you're playing the point guard position and you're guarding that position and you're guarding that position that way, that throws off the floor of the offense for the other team. That makes it hard for them to get into what they want to get into. So if he's doing that on the defensive end and he's putting pressure on the other team on the off, what more can you ask for in a point guard? A young point guard at that. This is a cat who just came off winning the state championship with Jacksonville. He's fresh off a state championship. So you got to understand his confidence is through the roof right now. And the way he's playing the game, and I'm going to tell you what I love about him. Another thing I love, he can play off that dribble. He can play off the dribble, man. Same thing, Jacoby Hill for Tri-City. Playing off that dribble, man. Bryce playing off that dribble. Those guys are able to create their own buckets. If you got a guy you can give the basketball to and say, hey, go get me a bucket, and he be able to do that, you got to love that. And all three of these guys out of the class of 2025 can do that. And not only can they do that, I saw them do that this weekend. I was able to catch them get buckets this weekend. And that's what you want. That's what you want. On any level that you're on, you want to continue to see that. Who else was somebody that impressed me over the weekend? And y'all know I talk about this kid a lot, man. Of course, I talked about him because I was able to watch him up close and personal last season in the 2021 season at Pinson Valley because he was on the team with Greedy. But that's 2024 Caleb White. Caleb played with the Fusion over the weekend in Orlando. That's a strong guard, man. Caleb White is an extremely strong body guard. He is a scoring. I'm going to tell you, he kind of puts me in. Who is a scoring guard that he puts me in the mind of? Somebody that's strong, that loves to get downhill, get to the basket, score around the rim. He's one of those type, but he can shoot the three. I really believe at this point in his career, he's more suited as a scoring lead guard more than a point guard. And during the school season, he's really able to do that more. I think that's the reason. He hadn't been asked to do that much so far. He hadn't been asked to be a point guard because he plays on a team with a point guard in TC Connor. Terry Connor plays on that team, and he's the point guard. So Caleb is able to do a lot of things off the ball and concentrate on scoring. And you could tell it's helped his game because he was getting buckets over the weekend, y'all. I mean, getting buckets. That Fusion team is stacked, but he was getting buckets. I was loving to see it. Love to see it. Another cat, man. And I want to say this. And I know I said this in the past. I think you really, really, really need to be mindful of what you're choosing when you choose your team. Because I saw some guys this weekend sitting on that oak. I mean, I saw guys sitting on that bench. And what do I mean by why is that such a big deal? You're playing on a team you shouldn't be on. You're playing on a team because the team has Under Armour on the jersey. You're playing on the team because the team has a Nike swoosh on the jersey. You're playing on the team because the team has 3 stripes on a jersey. You need to be careful about that because this was the first live period. And if you spent most of the first live period sitting on the bench, what do you think that's going to tell recruiters? What do you think that's going to tell recruiters? Especially you 17U guys. Especially you 17U guys. And that's a hard thing. I understand. It's a hard thing to understand because it's like, okay, do I go out here and play on the shoot team where I might have limited opportunity? But the thing about that is when you go out there and you play on the shoot team where you may have limited opportunity, do you know if you go out there and have that one good game, just that one big moment, you know what that can do for you? You know what that could do? That could push you to where you want to be. But here's the thing. Here's the catch-22 on that. There's no guarantee that's going to happen. There's no guarantee that you're going to have that big game. There's no guarantee you're going to have that moment in a game where the right coach is going to see you. Here's what my suggestion would be for you guys. This is what I would do. I would probably try to find me an indie to play on where I could be featured. Where when I go to this live period and I play against Team Florida Pro, or I play against one of these top EYBL teams or something like that, I think I'm going to go play on the team that can play them instead of going to sit on the bench for that team. Because I'm trying to make this make sense. Because if you could go to a live period and play on an indie team that plays all these good teams and you get a lot of playing time, you score points, you're getting 24, you're getting 18, you're getting buckets, and you're showing that you can play, I think that shows more than a guy who's playing on a really good shoe team with a bunch of big names that never plays. I'm just trying to see how that helps. Because if they're there to, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. Now, I will say I saw some guys sitting on the bench that I'm like, why in the hell is he on that team? He needs to be playing. I did see a lot of that. I saw a lot of that. But my thing is, it's a catch-22. What are you really trying to do? Do you really want to sit on the bench and be on a great team and be like, oh, he's good enough to be on that team, so he must have something that they like? Or is it better for me to go play on a team where I can get a bunch of minutes, score, play against those teams, happen to beat those teams or be competitive with those teams, and have that recruiter that's looking at the guy on the other team say, oh, I like that guy. He can play. I need to go look at him. He can play. What's that kid's name? Let me pull out my pad and start flipping. What's this kid's name? Would you rather have that, or would you rather have, oh, this is a kid that's, he didn't play a lot. 17. I wonder why he didn't play a lot. Me ask the coach. If you think that's going to happen, okay, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's few and far in between. That's just my opinion. But I'm telling you, listen to me. If you're on a team right now, and y'all already know, it's going to be a lot of shuffling after this weekend. It's a lot of guys coming back after this weekend looking for a new team. They're going to be looking for a new team. Of course they are, because they already know they sat the bench all weekend. You sat the bench all weekend. So they're going to be coming looking for new teams. So be mindful of that, y'all. Choose wisely. Don't choose out of, oh man, if I go over there and play with them, I'm going to get shoes. I'm going to get a warm-up suit. I'm going to get a book bag. I'm going to get some slides. I get to ride a plane. I get to be looked at as the guy that's on that team. And then you come out for warm-ups. You look good in your uniform. The game starts. Y'all playing 18 or 20-minute halves or whatever it may be, and you get 6 minutes out of 36 minutes. So you sit on the bench for 30 minutes out of a game. Or you sit the bench for 20-something minutes out of a game. Does that really make sense? Is that really helpful? Was that really that helpful? Or was it more helpful for the guy that went and played? All right, let me say it like this. Here's what I'm trying to say. Was it helpful for you to go into Orlando and play on the EYBL circuit? Or was it more helpful for you to go to Indiana and play on the UAA? Or go to Indiana and play in the Three Stripes? Was that beneficial for you? Or would it have been more beneficial for you to go to Orlando and play in the marquee hoops live period? Or go to Atlanta and play in the hoop scene live period? Or going on the radar? Or go somewhere else and play in their live period where you can get more exposure? What do you think would have been the better alternative? That's the question. Now, I know I got a lot of people, Coach DWill, man, but how am I get them to come see my game? They might not come see my court. Well, that's on your AAU coach. Remember I told you several episodes back where I was telling you AAU coaches need to be requesting to play certain teams, even though certain teams will come back and be like, I don't want to play them. That happens. But you need to make sure that your AAU coach is doing the things he needs to do to put you in positions so you can be seen. You want to be on the court with a Florida Pro because you know Florida Pro is going to have plenty of coaches coming to watch them play. You want to be in a situation like that. So you got to make sure your AAU coach and your AAU program is putting you in the best situation to succeed. And what is that? Making sure you're playing the teams you need to play in these live periods to get recognition. We've talked about recognition before. We've talked about it. We've heard it. I've told you and drawn a pretty little picture with my words on what recognition and exposure looks like. What you should be looking like what you should be looking for when you go pay or play on an AAU team. You know, some of y'all play, some of y'all pay. You know, it is what it is. You need to know what that's gonna look like, and not only know what that's gonna look like, but understand it and be like, Coach, I need do that for me, please, young fellas. Do that for me. Parents, please do that. Understand what you're going into. Have a cognizant mind of what you're going into. Be on point. I hope one of my favorite movies, y'all, is I'm talk about myself, but one of my favorite movies is Half-Baked. I don't know if y'all ever seen it. I hope y'all seen Half-Baked before. I know everybody with Thurgood. Y'all know Thurgood, Dave Chappelle. Thurgood has a line in that movie where he's telling them, and they were selling all the weed trying to get the friend out of jail. And they had started making money. And they were like, you know what? I can start spending money, right? So they start spending money. And Thurgood was like, no, man, this money is to get Kenny out of jail. We got to get Kenny out of jail, man. And he told him one thing. And this is what I'm telling parents and players. Be sharp. That's all he said. Be sharp. So I'm telling you, parents and players, be sharp. Be up on what you need to be up on when it comes to this AAU basketball. Know what's going on. Know what you're getting into. The next live period is what? I think April 23rd to 24th weekend. So you got 2 weeks before the next live period. Now you need to be prepared for that next live period, because here's the thing about the number 2 live period. The second live period. Remember at the beginning of this episode, I told you, hey, don't worry about if your phone don't ring after this weekend. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to be prepared, because now you know what the live period is all about. You need to be prepared to go in there and do your due diligence to get your name out there. You need to be able to do your due diligence to get your name out there. You need to be, if you saw a coach with a shirt on sitting at a game that you played in, you need to be on that internet, finding that email and sending that email to that coach. If you can find somebody who got that coach number, you need to get that coach number and send them a text message. Coach, you need to come, because here's the thing. On April 23rd and 24th, when they come back out, when the coaches come back out for that second live period, and they come by to see that game, you want them to come see you. What else is important about that? You want them to ring your phone after that second live period. I'm just going to keep it 100. After 2 weeks from now, your phone needs to start ringing. You want to start seeing some of those same faces coming to your games. You want to see some of those same faces that you saw this past weekend. You want to see them you want to see them in 2 weeks. You want them to come watch you play. I'm just keeping it real. You're not going to get many calls this weekend. You might get some interest. Fingers crossed that some of you guys get interest off of this weekend. But it's really up to you to put some pressure on your AAU coaches. Put some pressure on your AAU coaches to reach out to a bunch of these coaches. Hopefully they made contact with somebody throughout the weekend. Hopefully they were talking to coaches throughout the weekend. Hopefully they were building relationships with coaches in schools throughout this weekend. So when they pick up the phone and say, hey, coach, here's our schedule for the April 23rd, 24th live period. Can you come by and watch our games so you can come watch so-and-so play? That's what needs to be happening going forward. After this weekend, don't worry about getting no phone calls. Don't worry about asking your AAU coach, who called about me? Coach, or who asked about me? Did you talk to anybody about? That's not the questions you need to be asking this weekend. This weekend, you need to be talking to your AAU coach about, coach, who did you talk to this weekend? who did you talk to this weekend? What college coaches did you build a relationship with? What connect did you build this past weekend? Because that's what you want to see. You want to see your AAU coaches getting in touch with these coaches so they can build a relationship so they can get you recruited. That's what they should have been doing this weekend. So if they didn't do that going into next weekend, you got a problem. So you need to be on your AAU coach like, hey, who you talked to this weekend? Because here's an AAU's coach's job. And it gets confusing sometimes, especially for the AAU coaches. They get confused sometimes on this. And I think they fail to realize this, and they forget this part about it. It's your job to be out there getting your players recruited. It's not your job to be out there showing how good of a coach you are. I'm looking at y'all. We here. It's not your job to show how good of a coach you are in the summer. It's your job to get these kids exposure. So if you're out there trying to show I can run the triangle and I can coach in late game situations, or I can make the right substitutions at the right time, or I have this elaborate offense that I run, or I have this defense that I showed all weekend that gave a lot of pressure that I believe can help programs. If you're out there like that, you're out there for the wrong reason. You're out there for yourself. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's a lot of AAU coaches out there like that. They're out there looking for jobs. You want to know why you see a lot of guys that can really play, that are on good teams, that aren't getting any playing time? You want to know why I was talking about the kids that I say that may be sitting the bench on some of these shoe teams that should be playing with some independent teams? Remember I talked about this? Some D1 independent teams getting more exposure, getting more playing time, playing in big games. You know why? You know why that is? Because a lot of these AAU coaches and AAU programs are stacking their teams. And let me tell you why they're stacking their teams. They're trying to show colleges that they can recruit. Don't get it twisted, y'all. These AAU coaches are out here fighting for jobs on college staffs. I saw a tweet this weekend. And this is the prime example of what I'm telling you about. The tweet this weekend was I think he's on the NAI. I don't know where he's coaching at, but he got a college coaching job. I don't know this cat. I'm just going to keep it. I don't know him. I just saw the tweet. But he says in his tweet, and I wish I would pull it up, but I ain't going to pull it up. I'm just going to paraphrase. He says that last year I went to these tournaments just because I like to see hoop. And now all the kids look at me differently because I got on a college polo. Did y'all just hear what I said? He said that the kids look at him differently because he has on a college polo. That sounded like he was out there for self. Like, you out there clout chasing. And y'all know how I feel about clout chasers. They irk me. Clout chasers irk me more than anything in the world, just about. Is a person out there looking for some doggone clout. So listen, if you believe that these AAU coaches are only out there for your best interest, you're sadly mistaken. So you need to be asking the right questions to your AAU coaches about what it is that their direction for your recruiting is. Coach, what level do you see me as? Ooh. Did I say that out loud on the microphone? Did I say that? I don't think I meant to say that, y'all. Let me rewind. Nah, I ain't rewinding nothing. You need to be asking your coach, what level do you see me as? Do you see me D1? Do you see me D2? Do you see me D3, NAIA, JUCO, prep school? What do you see me as? Who are you marketing me to? Because here's where a lot of issues come up. You got a lot of these coaches out here telling kids things. I'm just going to say it like this. And I said it before, so it ain't like I can say it because I said it before. You got a lot of these coaches out here lying. You're telling these kids, you're talking to all these coaches when you know good and damn well this kid is not a Division I talent. But you want him on your team so you can stack your team, so you're lying to him. And you know what that's going to do? That kid's never going to get recruited because you're lying. If a kid is not a Division I talent, tell him, I don't think you're a Division I talent. There's nothing wrong with that. What I need y'all kids to understand is you need to be happy with being considered a D2 talent. You need to be happy with being considered a JUCO talent. Anybody that is recruiting you, if you have the opportunity to play basketball on the next level, is a privilege. Everybody ain't D1. And that's okay that everybody ain't D1. But honestly, talk to your coach and have your coach tell you what they really think about your game. Have them tell you what they think about your level. What level do they really see you as? And if a coach tells you, I think you better suited as D2, don't get mad. Don't get mad because he sees you as D2. Don't get mad because he sees you as JUCO. Everybody can't play Division I basketball. And if you look at the 1,256 names in the transfer portal, you see why. Because these names aren't just in the transfer portal because they wanted to change schools. Some of them in the transfer portal because they're no damn good. They're not that good. That's why they're transferring. So everybody's not a Division I talent. That means, let me give you an example of what I mean when I say what I just said. Y'all know how I kind of related it to the AAU thing about a kid playing on a shoe team that he probably shouldn't be on because he's not getting the playing time and the looks he needs. That's the same thing about this kid that went to a Division I school who's not a damn Division I player, sat the bench all year, now he's unhappy, now he's in the transfer portal. That's a lot of what that 1,256 is. A lot of that 1,256 is that. A lot of that 1,256 is I signed above my head. I went to a school I shouldn't have went to. And now because of that, I'm in the portal. Now, I told you a lot of those names are signing with other teams. There's a lot of these names ain't signing with nobody. They're going to be stuck in this portal. And I want to talk to these guys. I want my young guys to understand what I'm about to say to the older guys who are in the portal looking for other situations. If you went D1, it's not a bad thing to go back down to JUCO. It's not a bad thing to go down to D2. Don't look at that as a failure. Don't look at that as I didn't succeed. That's not what that says. What that says is you're persevering. You're looking for your next opportunity, which could be the opportunity that propels you to where you think you want and should be. You just got to hoop. Don't let these people fool you and tell you that it's only one way to skin a cat. It ain't one way to skin a cat because a lot of the thing is a lot of you guys peak is college. If you're playing this game of basketball, your peak. Oh, boy, I'm finna get in trouble for what I'm finna say. God dog it. I'm about to get in trouble for what I'm finna say. If you play the game of basketball, you know what your peak should be? I don't want to say it. But I'm going to say it. Your peak should be a check. If you ain't getting a check, what are you doing, people? What are you playing this game for? You should be playing this game to play it at the highest level. Now, I understand 95% of y'all won't get a check playing this game. Playing the game. Now, you might get a check doing something with basketball because remember we talked about the business of basketball. Me and Coach Chill Will told y'all about the business of basketball. That's what we're in. We're in the business of basketball. So you can go make some money. But I'm talking about 95% of y'all will not get a check playing this game. And it might be like 98, 99% of y'all won't. And that's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. But my thing is you want to prepare and work to get that check. Because if you prepare and work to get a check, you're going to give your all. You're going to be the best basketball player you could possibly be. Will you ever reach that pinnacle? Maybe not. But you know what you can do? You can hang your hat on something and say, I gave it my all. And sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes you can only give everything that's inside of you. And I'm here to tell you, I'm looking at the camera for this one. Still not going to be good enough. You can give everything that you want to give, and it's still not going to be good enough. But guess what? You can look back on it and say, I did that. I gave my all. I gave my all. And that's all I want y'all to do, man. Understand, during this AAU season, and this is really, I know we kicked it off. This was really the kickoff of AAU season. This is the beginning. This was it. If you were out there this weekend playing AAU basketball, you saw exactly what AAU basketball is all about. You saw exactly about what big-time basketball is. And I know you saw 1,000 billion kids in the gym. And what I'm saying is, those 1,000 billion kids in the gym, every single one of them are going for the same scholarship. What are you going to do to separate yourself? What are you going to do to be player A to player B? Remember, we talked about this, y'all. The gap between player A and player B is that big. There is no gap between player A and player B. In actuality, there's no gap. No gap between player A and player B. But I want y'all to be mindful of that. Understand, coming out of this first live weekend, going into the next live weekend, there's a couple of things you need to do. I explained them to you. You need to be talking to your coach. Coach, who did you connect with? Who did you connect with at the last live period that we can go and market me to? Second, coach, what level do you think I am? Do you think I'm a Division I level? If you think I'm Division I, let's market me to Division I. What Division I coaches did you talk to that I can talk to? That's the questions you need to be asking. And then, coach, who are we playing in our next live period? Are you working to get us in games that are going to give us the exposure we need to be recruited? Those are the three things that you really need to be focused on coming out of this live period. Coming out of this live period, you really need to be focused on that. You need to be focused on, coach, who did you talk to and connect to? What level do you think I am? And what are we doing going forward? Those are the three things you need to be focused on, man. Those are the three things you need to be focused on. But, man, I hope I gave y'all some rundown of what I saw this weekend. I'm going to end the show. I'm finna get up out of here, man. I got a couple of minutes to wrap with y'all. I ain't in no rush, so I can talk a little bit more. But I am going to say this. I'm going to talk about one kid and one kid only. And I'm finna tell y'all about him. Greedy freaking Williams. I told y'all earlier, he's coming out of the JUCO showcase in Dallas, ranked the number one unsigned prep prospect in the country. Why? Because the boy was balling. I've been humble for several years when it comes to Greedy Williams, because I'm one of his hardest critics, right? I'm in the gym with him, giving him the game that he displays. So I'm hard on him, y'all. Y'all can act. I give him no leeway. Before he was bouncing out the gym like he is now, I was always on him that he couldn't jump. I was always on him that you're too slow. I was on him that your jump shot too slow. We got to speed the jump shot up. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do. I'm always on him. He came over the other day and we sat down for a couple hours and just got to talk one-on-one. He came over here. Unc, I'm chilling with you. We just got to talk one-on-one. We talked about everything from life to basketball. And when we talked about basketball, I told him directly to his face, and he knows this. Whatever you do, I will always find fault. And the reason I will always find fault, because I know every time I watch you play, you can play better. I think every time you step on the court, you can give me more. The boy done had 30 in a game. And guess what I said? You should have had 50. You missed that layup. You missed those free throws. You missed that opportunity to take a shot. You passed on that three. You passed on that penetration. I'm looking at everything that's always going to make him better. But I got to give him his roses today. Bro went dummy in Dallas, y'all. I mean, shooting the three off the dribble, getting into his spots in the mid-range and pulling up. Man, and being 6'5" and being his post game was murder. Every time he got a small guard on him, he would call the ball, whoop, whoop. Hey, y'all come around here. Let me get that. Even when he got a guy on him 6'4", 6'5" like him, he put him in the post. And it's so easy for him. Like, Chill Will called me at one point. It's like a college coach came up to him and told him this. It just looks like it's too easy for him. Chill was like, it is. Because the boy is that good. He has every attribute you want as a high-level point guard. He can score it. He can score it off the dribble. He can shoot the three. He's very ball efficient. He doesn't turn it over. He has size. He can guard the basketball. He can get downhill. He can score on all three levels. He can rebound the basketball. Listen, it's not anything that's going on. And you know how we don't do that corny, blessed to receive, all the corny. I think that's corny. Y'all can do it. I understand why you do it. We've talked about this before. I'm not big on it. And I'm going to tell you like this, he'll never do that. So, because I've had college coaches call me. I went to his social media and I don't see that. Because if you're looking to recruit off social media, you're recruiting backwards anyway, dummy. These college coaches are dumb. So they do dumb stuff like that. You're going to go to social media and say, oh, he doesn't have any blessed receives or who's recruiting him or top six or, man, we don't care about that. I've told you this before. Do you want him? Recruit him. That's all that matters. Who else recruiting him doesn't matter. But understand, it's other people recruiting this kid. We have got, Chill gonna kill me, and because if he was here, he'd be throwing that fishing hook out there and just reeling me in. But he ain't here, so I'm gonna go off. This boy got high majors on the line right now, y'all. High majors. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this. The high majors are cool. Division I is cool. Great, fine, dandy, whatever. But if it's something that is not beneficial, we ain't trying to go D1 just to say we went D1. I'm just here to tell y'all that. We can give a damn about that. Hopefully y'all can too. But a lot of y'all are clout chasers, so you can't. So you're going to do what I talked about earlier. You're going to go to a school that you shouldn't have went to, not going to get any playing time. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to jump in the portal. We're not with that. We don't care. We'll go JUCO. I know. I'm going to tell you like this. It's 2 JUCOs on his line right now, and they got a damn good chance of getting him. And I just told you we got high majors on the line. We got high majors on the line, and it's 2 JUCOs that got a damn good chance of getting him. Because we don't care about all that. We going D1. That ain't impressing us. What's impressing us is what can you do to progress his game to get to the next level and do what I told you earlier. Cash a check. CTC. Y'all know what CTC stand for? If you don't, I'm going to tell you. Cut the check. We trying to go get checks. We're trying to make this game take us to places we never thought we would go. And it's possible if you go hoop. But that boy did that this weekend. Nephew went out there and hooped. He looks big. The kid's 6'5". He's a lefty on the court, but he does everything right-handed. I'm singing praises this episode. College coaches, I'm here to tell you, you better jump on early. Well, no, it's late. So you better jump your ass on now. Y'all better hop on this phone because I told you it's 2 high majors and it's 2 JUCOs that I'm in love with. And it's 1 JUCO I'm in love even more. He my guy too. I know he gonna listen to the podcast. He gonna be like, Coach, I know you talking about me. You gotta be talking about me. And I'm talking about you. Yes, I am. I like y'all. I'm talking about a JUCO, y'all. I got JUCOs that I like for him. With the high majors on the line. And some mid-majors. But some might consider one of these mid-majors that's on the line a high major. They got a good chance, too. I like them, too. I'm just here to tell y'all. So, we never tell y'all about his recruiting. But I'm here. I just told y'all about his recruiting. So any of y'all damn dumbass coaches out there that's always asking me this stupid question, who else is recruiting? I just told you. So if you want to be in that, if I'm not talking about you and you want to get in on Greedy Williams, you better get in now. Did y'all hear me? If you want to get in on Greedy Williams, you better get in now. High majors, mid majors, and JUCOs on the line. So we're willing to go to all y'all. We ain't out there looking for just a D1 offer. Nope, we're not. So come holler at me. 334-208-0684. Yeah, I just put my number on here. Call me. All y'all call me. 334-208-0684. That's my direct line. Mike Jones, I just did y'all like that. But yeah, man, that's it, man. I just want to put that out there, man. Like I say, congratulations to Greedy Williams, man. Putting on big time this weekend in Dallas at the JUCO showcase, man. Shout out to Bryce Dawson and Jacoby Hill at Tri-City, man. 15U guys that played up on the 17U live period circuit this weekend, putting up big numbers, man. Averaging over. I know both of them averaged over 15 to 17 points a game. I know both of them were over that. Playing 17 year, man. So 17U. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to Devin Barksdale, man. Like I said, I've been on this kid for a while. He's continuing to impress me. He is putting himself on, like I said, he put himself on my radar. He on there now. He's solidified on there now. Also, Caleb White, man, for the Fusion. Shout out to those guys, man. It's a lot of other guys that balled out this week. You know, I focus myself on Alabama, y'all. I can talk about a lot of guys from a lot of other areas. I was Stephon Castile, Jaquan Newton. Ja'Kai Newton, excuse me. I was impressed with them from Atlanta Express. I saw them. My man was on that Atlanta Express team. He played well this weekend. So it's a lot of guys out there that did those things, man. But these guys just stood out to me. They stood out to me, and I think they deserve a talk in this episode, man. But appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I said I didn't want to do it by myself. I didn't want to, but I had to, man. I had to. We right here, baby. Appreciate y'all. Hey, go subscribe to the YouTube page. I'm going to talk to y'all now. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. Go subscribe to the iBall Radio YouTube page. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell because my man Modern Day TV finna have me looking real good. I know he's about to have me looking real good. So, listen, we don't know when we're going to drop this. All right? But y'all know y'all can find the iBall podcast tomorrow at 12 noon, wherever you get your podcast, Little IBALL podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Stitcher, Google, Apple. A lot of y'all go listen to Apple. A lot of y'all got iPhones, man. I'm talking about a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all. But go hit me up on Spotify, man. Go stream it on Spotify, man. Let them streams get up, man. Let's get that check in. But appreciate y'all hanging out this episode, man. Hopefully I gave you some useful information about this AAU stuff, also about this recruiting, and also what you should be doing going into the next live period, man. But that's going to do it for this episode, man. Shout out to Chill Will, man. Him and Greedy are on their way back from Dallas as we speak. We wish them safe travels on that highway and byway, man. Hopefully they make it back to their destination safe and sound. And y'all do know, hey, listen, we going to set this setup, man. We coming, man. You ain't going to be seeing all this. We just had to get it done today. But y'all see this Bama jersey right here? B. Williams jersey. That's an original game jersey. I actually got my Shelton State original game jersey behind me. So we got some stuff we gonna put out there for y'all to see, man. So y'all just hanging there with us. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all already know, man. I'm finna get up out of here. Yeah, I'm a little late. I should have been gone already. But I just like talking. I like talking, and I'm still talking. I'm gonna continue to talk. But I'm up out of here, man. Follow me on social media, man, at iBall Radio on Instagram and Twitter, at iBall Radio Instagram and Twitter. Also on Instagram and Twitter at _Real Talk Tees. And on Twitter, go check out my personal Twitter at Coach_iBall. And remember, y'all can find me 3 days a week right now talking sports. You can find me right here every Monday at noon on the iBall podcast. You can find me every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on 90.7 FM WVAS right here in Montgomery. If you're not in the Montgomery listening area, WVASFM.org. You can go listen to Open Court with Derek Williams. So 30 minutes of fast, rapid, me talking sports. And you can also find me every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Atlanta on 1100 a.m. in the ATL for the Sports Roundtable Show. every Wednesday, man. Y'all can catch me on there talking sports wherever you want to talk, man. So go follow my social media. Go listen to all my sports shows. And y'all already know, man. Until next time, they call me Coach because I teach you how to ball. I'm out of here. Peace.